Welcome, we are back with some more Battle Spot double battles, and I lied last episode. I ended up not playing the IC, unfortunately, so no Xerneas Calyrex, no update for you on where I ended up in the rankings. Just didn't have time, unfortunately. But I just threw together a different kind of team, and it's on the screen right now, and I've got a couple of special Pokemon on it. So we went with the Kyogre Zacian as a great, just a great duo, right? And we've got Imprison Zacian as well to help against the opposing Zacian, because there's no Intimidate on this team. Then we've got Pikachu, so that's the start. I wanted a good Lightning Rod Pokemon, and there are not many that are really good. I wanted one that has both Lightning Rod and is a threat. And there's nothing that really meshes with Kyogre that also fills that role. Raichu's a little bit too passive. You got the other Pokemon that are your Rhyperias and your Marowaks, which synergy-wise don't quite work with this kind of team. Well, at least the setup we're using here. Pikachu is the only option, because Pikachu brings the power as well when it's got that Light Ball. So you can see we've got Light Ball Pikachu with Surf, Grass Knot, and Thunder. So it can do things like just blow things away with Gmax Volt Crash. Obviously get those paralyses as well, and which can just be game-winning whenever you get them. And yeah, switch Kyogre in, go for the Max Surf, and just pick up KOs on anything weak to water. In the next slot, we've got Drifblim as well, which has been a really nice addition to the team. It was the last Pokemon I added to the team. It gives us Tailwind support. You can see us holding a Grassy Seed because we do have Rillaboom on the team, so we get that Unburden boost. But yeah, Tailwind support, Strength Sap, Will-O-Wisp, and Shadow Ball. So it was the last Pokemon to go on the team, and it was put there because we're a little bit weak to things like Defiant Thundurus. Landorus can be quite annoying as well. And Solgaleo. So we've got Will-O-Wisp primarily for those Pokemon, and we've got enough special attack investment, which not much is needed, but we've got enough special attack investment to get the KO on Shadow Rider Calyrex if they're not holding a Focus Sash before they move if we get our Unburden boost. So there's Drifblim. And then our last two slots, we've got Tapu Koko, because I wanted the electric terrain to power up Pikachu even more. Choice Scarf, because it's necessary for us to be able to outspeed Regieleki. Get our Electro Webs off first, lower their speeds, and then go from there. You can see we've got 3 electric moves alongside the Electro Web. Discharge, which I don't use too often, because we're not often in the position to use that. It's usually the Electro Web. But if I'm in a position to use that next to Pikachu, then things get quite crazy with when it comes to the damage output. And we've got Thunder as well, just in case we need to rely on Koko to output damage. And then Grass Knot, because one thing we don't want to be walled by is a Gastrodon, which, looking at this team on paper, if you just look at the 6 Pokemon, you think, it's kind of weak to Gastrodon. But you can see we've got grass moves there. And then Rillaboom in the last slot, speaking of grass moves. With that Grassy Surge, again, pairs really well with Pikachu, with Max Grass Knot, switch in the Rillaboom, boom, go from there. And try to get some wins. The team's not perfect, it does have some holes, but it is very fun to play, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, as the creator of the team. It is very fun. So let's do some battles and let's see how we get on. So we've got Zacian-Crowned on team, and this is going to be a tough matchup because Pikachu looks good here, and Pikachu also looks heavily threatened here as well. So the question becomes, do we lead Pikachu or do we lead Rillaboom Drifblim? I think it's got to be the Rillaboom Drifblim with Kyogre Zacian in the back. So no Pikachu this game. I think that's the right call. I would like to bring Tapu Koko, if only to give us the electric terrain so we can't be spoiled by the Venusaur. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go with these 4. So the idea here is we're leading Drifblim so we can get Tailwind up if we need to, or if they lead the Landorus or Groudon, we can hopefully Will-O-Wisp and not miss, and get a burn on those straight away. You gotta expect the Charizard lead though, right? So Landorus Charizard. So this was the kind of lead that I was fearing the most. So I am pleased we've gone with what we've gone with, for sure. Now the question becomes, do I want to Will-O-Wisp, or do I want to Tailwind. I think the answer is Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp gets Kyogre in. And then go from there. So we might see a Protect from either of the opponent's Pokemon. I feel like you always got to expect the potential Groudon switch in, of course, in the Lando slot. So we'll see how this goes. So no switch unless they're going for a U-turn, which would be pretty bad, because that means they'll get their Groudon in after the fact. So it's in a max. Who's it going to be though? Could be either. I think it's going to be the Charizard. It's not, it's the Landorus, so I'm glad that we've done what we've done here. Hopefully we don't miss. This is one of the weaknesses of the team. I hate Will-O-Wisp so much. Drifblim has been great in practice though. And there we go. So Drifblim pulling through for us there. Excellent. Oh no! Oh no, oh no. Oh no, Koga's going to take a bunch of damage now. What can you do? We've been bamboozled. Yeah, that's not ideal. We've been bamboozled by Lumberry Lando. But this ain't over by any means, because we should still outspeed at this point with Drifblim. So we can Tailwind up. We're going to outspeed, and we're going to go for the Hailstorm. Because they could always switch the Groudon in on the Charizard slot. And Kyogre is the Pokemon that I want to be maxing. So I could go into Charizard slot, but I don't think it's worth it. We may end up attacking into a max guard here, but if that is the case, then so be it. The good news is, one of the other good things about the team is having Rillaboom and a bulky Kyogre with Assault Vest means that we are able to get some healing back at the end of every turn. The problem is, I think they might still outspeed our Kyogre even in the Tailwind now that they're at their +1. Yeah, which they do. So Hurricane comes out, which is enough to get Drifblim, unfortunately. Oh, but we still outspeed with the Kyogre into the Lando slot. Nice. Well, that's gone. So you've got to imagine the Groudon is going to come in now. We bring in Rillaboom. We go for the Fake Out into Charizard and assert our dominance with the Rain. It's Venusaur. That does make things a bit trickier. That does make things a bit trickier for sure. Now, we're going to do it. We're still going to do it. Go for our Fake Out and our Geyser play. So unfortunately, we're probably going to find ourselves in a position where it's going to come down to trying to dodge Sleep Powders and then not putting up with Sleep Turns. Okay, but all my opponent could do this, in which case this is really good. Because we're gonna reset our weather. They did not protect the Venusaur. Let's see how this Groudon's trained. Not well enough to take that. So no Assault Vest on that Groudon. Or maybe there was. No Shell Armor or Battle Armor ability on that Groudon, that's for sure. Okay, so we're in a really nice position. It's still somewhat tentative. I mean, we have a losing path from here. We certainly do. But we have more winning paths than we have losing paths. So let's see if we can pull this one out of the bag. So... I think I want to go for something like this. I think now we're probably going to see a double protect. I don't want to... I don't want to set the Hail back up because then we're gonna strengthen the Charizard. Still no protect for my opponent, so they're just going all in. That's Charizard gone. And then from here, you can't see Venusaur pulling this one out of the bag. But a good first game. I'm pleased we got to show off the Drifblim and just how good it was, even though it was Lumberry Landorus. That was almost terrible, but it still gave us the option to go for that Tailwind after the fact. And yeah, Drifblim has been really good on this team. It was the last Pokemon that I added. I had a few other Pokemon in that slot. What else did I have in that slot? I can't remember off the top of my head. But we did have some other Pokemon in that slot that weren't quite working out. Oh, I know what I had in that slot. I had a Galvantula, which is something else I was trying out, which may come back again in future, but didn't quite work on this team. But yeah, good game to my opponent, and let's do another one. We have an opponent. It's Zacian-Crowned with, so they've got Whimsicott for the Tailwind support, and the Indeedee is sticking out to me. Yeah. That Indeedee is, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there with the Indeedee. I have to keep an eye on that one. So, oh, this is a tough one because I would like to bring Pikachu. When I bring Pikachu, I bring Tapu Koko as well. But in this matchup, I would also like to bring Rillaboom. I think we can do that. I think we can do that. I think maybe we leave Kyogre at home this game. As strong as it is. Here's what we're going to do. So this is where it gets a bit crazy because this is maybe not the best four to pick, but I do want to show off the Pikachu. And so we're going to go with this. Because Kyogre, it's a tough one to leave out, but I think it might be the right call this game. So let's see. Let's see if Pikachu's paralysis can pull us through. Expecting, of course, the Whimsicott lead. In which case, we've got two options. We can fake out that slot, or fake out the slot next to it and expecting a Protect. Or we can just go all in with Pikachu. Call the Protect. That's Indeedee and Kyogre. We've got to pay attention to the ability order here. So Tapu Koko, of course, first. Since we have Choice Scarf. So we're going to lose the Electric Terrain. Psychic Surge comes out. So, decisions. I could switch in Rillaboom. Psychic Seed Indeedee. I mean, we lose Pikachu here, if I'm not careful. I think what we do, I mean, if they max Kyogre, we're in trouble. If I make this play and they max Kyogre, then we're in trouble. So I think this is what we go for. Because I don't think they're going to max the Kyogre. If they do, they do. And then we just try to figure it out from there. But I've got the feeling they want to go for a follow me and just try and water spout, right? So they didn't max, we get a fake out. And yeah, so that was the play they were going for. They're just trying to smash through us immediately here. Now the good news is, again, it's maybe not the best choice to max this, but in this situation at least, but we're gonna go for this. We're gonna go for this. Yeah, this is the play, right? Pikachu should survive the turn. Assuming they don't max Kyogre. Indeed, he switches out into Incineroar by looks of it. No big surprise. Is it Scarf Kyogre? Is it Scarf or Specs? Because I am kind of leaning towards that, but obviously you never know. Kyogre is just that strong. Could be Mystic Water, and then maxing the Kyogre. Okay, so unfortunately, we're faking out into that slot. That's a ballsy play because could have doubled that slot with the electric move and then the grass move. Our opponent cornered us on that one. And where does their max move go? Does it go into Rillaboom? Does it go into Pikachu? Rillaboom's... is Rillaboom... No. Rillaboom's the bigger threat overall, I would say. Pikachu's fairly easy to remove from the field. But they did just switch in Incineroar, which only really lowers our Rillaboom's special attack. So that comes the Volt Crash. That's still good damage. So, can we get some paralysis? No paralysis. That's going to be into... I say Rillaboom, but it might not be. It is into Rillaboom. So you can see, if Koko would have been fully paralysed there, we'd probably just win the game. Okay, so... my opponent has fake out pressure. What I think they probably do is... we're going to bring Tapu Koko. What I think they probably do is switch... they max guard, they switch the Incineroar out for Indeedee, right? And they try to start going for the follow me's again. Because it also allows them to get rid of our electric terrain, which they would like to do. So we're going to try and call that. And go for the Volt Crash into that slot. Now the problem is, I'm not convinced the Discharge gets the job done against Kyogre. Thunder will, but Thunder can miss. So I think we're going to go for this. I can't see them. I can't see them not switching out here. We're going to go for the Discharge play. If they get fully paralysed, then we probably just win. They're switching out the Kyogre. Wow. Okay. That was not what I expected. So indeed, he's coming in. And they went for the fake out as well. You can't do both of those things. So we're boosting our Pikachu up. And we're getting some nice damage off as well. We get the paralysis on the Indeedee with our Discharge. Volt Crash comes out. Does Incineroar live this? It does not. Of course it doesn't. Okay, but this ain't over because we've got a Pikachu, which, as you can see, insanely strong. But as I mentioned before, Pikachu, not the most difficult Pokemon to remove from the field, especially when it's holding a light ball like we are, and not a focus sash. But yeah, this certainly isn't over. That's Zacian coming in. Now, we're going to Volt Crash the Zacian here. Or are we? Do I need to switch Koko out? We've paralysed the Kyogre at this point, so even if it's Scarf, it's not going to outspeed our Zacian. So I don't need to switch Koko out and start trying to go for Electro Webs. So I guess we just do this. It would be nice to get Zacian in, but I'm not going to at this point actually, because they're going to outspeed our Pikachu with Zacian. So they don't get fully paralysed, unfortunately. And we've got to be careful because we might end up being locked into discharge next to our own Zacian. The Beam of Blade comes out. Where is it going? Okay. That might seal it for us. Depending on what moves this Zacian has, that might seal the game for us. Because Zacian's now paralysed. You've paralysed all four of my opponent's Pokemon. And not even... only 3 of them with the Volt Crash. So it depends on... Yeah, very much depends on the move that's... depends on the moves that this Zacian has. Well, actually it doesn't, because we should just knock it out with a Behemoth Blade. And of course we're going to Thunder the Kyogre slot. So should be totally fine. What if we don't knock it out with the Behemoth Blade? Because I'm not max attack Zacian, and I'm Jolly Nature as well. So the Thunder might be the play into the Zacian slot. I actually think it is. Oh, no, that's not the Zacian slot. So we go for our Thunder. And I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? Go for our Behemoth Blade, just because we can. Do I lose? No, this is it, right? This is it. Oh no, oh, that's so disappointing. What a disappointing ending. Well, GG's to my opponent. The power of the team. We got to see Drifblim and Pikachu in action. I'm really pleased with that. Like I said, the team's not perfect, but it can get the wins, and Pikachu is so strong, as you saw. I think we'll do at least one more video with this team. So you saw the rental code at the beginning. The Poképaste is in the description, as well as the team spreads. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you in the next one.